Hey cinephiles, welcome back to another exciting edition of Instant Trailer Review, the first of the year.
Yes.
Today we're looking at Ant-Man. I'm JS.
I'm David.
Welcome.
So, Ant-Man is I would maybe say a C-list character, let's be honest, of the Marvel Universe. He's not as big as Hulk or Spider-Man or whatnot, but yet, remember when Iron Man came out, like, in 2008, and everyone kept saying, like, who's Iron Man? Like, he was, like, a C-list character at the time. Like, he was not expected to be the biggest thing of all time. Fun fact, though, is Ant-Man, Hank Pym, was one of the original Avengers in 1963 in Avengers #1. He and his wife, girlfriend, the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, were part of the original lineup with Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, and Thor. They were not really ever spoke of in the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far that we know of, right?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't heard of Pym or Hank Pym or Paul Rudd's character, Scott Lang, in the movie universe yet. So now we're finally seeing something.
Right. So yeah, let's go ahead and start this trailer off.
So this debuted
last night during Agent Carter.
which is another great Marvel property here.
Yeah.
So we have Scott Lang. Now, Scott Lang is played by Paul Rudd, and he is, as far as we know, a burglar of sorts, right? I mean, he's being arrested in this shot. Now, Paul Rudd is the kind of guy that, like, you could cheer for him because he's so cool, and, like, he could play a burglar and you still like him, you know? He's not sleazy.
And it's a really interesting casting choice because he's most famous for, like, the Judd Apatow movies. So, like, purely a comedic actor. But, like, casting him as a lead in a Marvel movie, that's going to be pretty interesting.
Yeah. Also, the movie Clueless.
There you go.
So now, you know, Hank Pym's, I've been watching you. We have a computer. Now, we looked in. We kind of zoomed to see if we could find any Easter eggs on these screens, and I don't really see anything. I see particles. I see, like...
molecular stuff.
I think that's a tennis ball on the right screen there. I don't know. Atoms and stuff. Science stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Hank Pym is the original Ant-Man, and then Scott Lang is sort of the guy who took over a little bit later in the comic universe. And so in the comics, similar to this trailer, Scott Lang takes over to help save his daughter.
But we don't know what he was using this Ant-Man technology before.
That's true. We don't really know Hank Pym's history right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of slow-mo in this trailer. Like, it's interesting. It's because the trailer's so short and they don't have a lot of stuff to show us. But I think they're slowing it down even more.
Now
not a good sign.
Now we all know the stuff about Edgar Wright was developing this movie for like 9 years, and then because of Marvel Cinematic Universe is such a powerful beast, they kind of removed him basically and got a new director, Peyton Reed, who is famous for Bring It On,
and The Breakup.
So not what you expect, and
not at all.
A lot of people are disappointed, and like Edgar Wright would have made an amazing movie, but I actually think it wouldn't have really fit with the tone of these other Marvel Cinematic movies, which all kind of are conducted by Kevin Feige, who's the guy who does... Right, he's like the head producer for everything.
Yeah. I mean, without Feige, this MCU would crumble. Like, he is really the glue putting all the pieces together. But Reed, I mean, to his credit, they brought him out during Comic-Con, and he seems to really know his stuff. Like, he actually seems like he's a comic book fan.
Yeah, and that's important.
So, that is comforting.
So let's continue on. So Scott Lang's going to get arrested. Now, this is our first, I think, MCU movie where we're kind of going to San Francisco. I mean, Thor 2, we went to London. Thor 1, we were in New Mexico. Avengers, New York, right?
Right.
Where was Incredible Hulk? It was...
Oh, well, it started off in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean...
And it goes up to, like, Virginia and Harlem, and Iron Man's in Southern California. So it's cool to see San Francisco now.
Yeah. See what we got.
So we continue on. We have Michael Douglas of The Game and Fatal Attraction.
Looking good. He seems to have overcome that throat cancer.
And now we have Marvel logo. I get chills every time I see it. And I love, if you notice in the trailer, we're going to see a lot of this sort of like golden sunset look. Right. I think the cinematography in this is really cool. This is not what I expected at all. And I really thought this was going to be more of a comedy, the same way that James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy trailer had a lot of like, what a bunch of a-holes. You know, it's like really offbeat humor, and this one is definitely... I don't know, what do you think the tone is so far? It doesn't feel comedy. It feels more...
Right. The beginning is incredibly grim, and it's sort of like all said to him just explaining what this is. But then we cut to Rudd, who like pops the balloon. Like, it's just a bunch of tension. And he's actually one of the screenwriters on this film.
That's true. Adam McKay is also credited. And from interviews we've read, this genre is going to be a heist film. Now that's exciting to me.
That's very cool. It's finally going to be one where it's not about saving the world or the universe, much more localized, and that's kind of what I'm interested in.
It's almost like an ant is small, and this problem is small.
Yeah.
When you think about it. Now, this is, what is her name again? Cassie Lang?
Yeah, so this is Scott's daughter, and it is I mean, she's a young Avenger, right, in the comics. So
yeah,
she could grow up to become something in Phase 4 or 5, whatever. We'll see.
Yeah, so Cassie Lang is Stature, one of the young Avengers. So maybe this actress will turn into something later. So
Who can also shrink in size or grow.
And I think this is the first Avenger or first Marvel hero to be a father as well, right? Because all the other guys are single.
Yeah. I'm sure Tony Stark has a lot of children that he doesn't know about, but yeah.
Probably, yeah. So now we got Pym Tech, kind of like maybe as a Stark tech rival, or just like there's the Justin Hammer Industries. I like in the Marvel Universe, there's a lot of science engineering people.
Corey Stoll, who you might recognize from House of Cards.
Yeah.
So he's also playing a character from the comic books.
Who is going to play Yellow Jacket. And he's supposed to be the villain.
We just passed our first look at, if you go back there, we see our first glimpse of Evangeline Lilly in this film, who was also quite a hit at Comic-Con, because they brought her out both for The Hobbit and for this. And people were really excited to see that she was involved. And with that haircut, we're thinking that she's going to play Wasp, or the daughter of Wasp.
Yeah, so she's the daughter, she's Hope Van Dyne. Now, Janet Van Dyne is supposed to be the Wasp, but I don't think she's been cast in this movie, so we don't really know if there's going to be a Janet Van Dyne at all. And continuing on, we got the conflict is Scott Lang has to take care of his daughter. He has to become the Ant-Man. And then there's this sort of like beat change in which he's like,
I love that moment.
In typical Paul Rudd fashion.
Yeah. And we sort of go back to that at the very end of the trailer. He leaves us with another like punchline.
So JS, how do you like the suit? It looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
right?
I think the suit's pretty great. What did you think of the poster that they revealed earlier this week?
Yeah, so there's a lot of clever marketing with this, in which the poster, you have an ant-sized Ant-Man. Even in the trailer, when it was first released, they had an ant-sized version.
Yeah.
I feel like the marketing materials, even the commercials, will probably be ant-sized, or like, buy your ant-sized Ant-Man action figure that's this big, and they'll save money on plastic and make more money that way. They really know what they're doing with like commercialism in this Marvel.
But if you zoomed in on that poster, I think Entertainment Weekly had the exclusive. It was this suit, and yeah, it's pretty great.
So continuing on, so Ant-Man shrinks.
In the shower, no less.
This is Michael Pena, who, from what I've read, plays a Pym security officer.
Shocking, because Pena he's always playing a cop or a government official of some sort. So yeah.
So I think
that he's typecasted.
This will be the Halloween costume in 2015.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the next Star-Lord mask.
It is, Brief shot of a prison fight.
Which makes me wonder, are they doing this because of Guardians of the Galaxy had a prison fight? Like, we're gonna go back to prison again?
I don't know. I don't know how you can top that sequence in Guardians.
Now, this is Pym Industries. So looks like it's being evacuated. We don't really know the context, but we'll find out. And this is Scott Lang again with his daughter. It's like, that's the emotion, man. That's the emotions.
What if his daughter gets the flu or something, and he has to shrink down to the size of an ant and get rid of that?
That's where this could go.
School bus style.
We don't know if he's going inside people's blood vessels.
Yeah.
I mean, he's supposed to steal something because it's a heist movie. So, that'll be cool. And now here we have... The lighting looks so cool because when you shrink down, I think the property of light... I mean, I'm not that big on the science of light, but I would assume when your eyes are minuscule like that, you're seeing light a lot different. So I really wonder how the cinematographer is going to play on that. I mean, it's going to be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where you have kind of this cheesy, I don't know, flowers are the size of houses. Oh my! Or is it going to be something way more intense?
Yeah. No, it's got that really cool glow effect. Everything's in soft lighting right here, and he flies ants.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I mean, ants fly. I mean, you can search this on the web.
Yeah, we looked it up. I guess some female ants have wings. That's pretty cool.
They're attracted to the aroma of male ants. So there you go. Maybe he's gonna help this one find its mate. I don't know. So.
All right. So quickly wrapping up, we see kind of the heroic Ant-Man shot. This is Ant-Man in a nutshell. He flies ants. He can talk to ants. I don't know if he can grow big because Hank Pym in the comics has the ability to grow into Goliath or Giant Man. Now we don't know yet from this trailer if that's gonna happen, but we know Scott Lang riding an ant, stealing stuff, cares for his daughter. I mean, that's basically what this is.
Yeah.
And then we follow up with a really good humor of can we change the name? This is the cheesiest name. It's not 1963 anymore. Who goes around calling themselves Ant-Man? But you know what? This is going to make $1 billion because it says Marvel at the top. And Marvel can't fail. So...
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this film will be received, to be honest. And it's sort of on the cusp there between Phase 2 and Phase 3.
Yeah.
Some people say this is the last film in Phase 2. Some people say it's the first film in Phase 3. And it could just be like the bridge.
From what I've read, it's the beginning of Phase 3. Wikipedia seems to say it's the end of Phase 2. I don't know. But I think it's the beginning of Phase 3. Because they're supposed to end with Avengers movies each time.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So wrapping up, I'm excited for this movie. JS, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Rudd will bring to it. I know we're all kind of disappointed that Edgar Wright couldn't make his vision come to reality. But yeah, I'm putting my faith in Reed on this one. I think Rudd's going to be a really fun choice.
Cool. All right, well, till next time, I'm David.
And I'm JS.